Hi guys, welcome. Danny here from the Magic Junk Drawer, and try to keep the camera as steady as possible. But I'm filming it because I was just having too much trouble with the iMovie trying to put the pictures in. And it'll just be easier for me to tell the story as I show you the pictures. So today would have been my 30th anniversary at A&P. Yes, 30 years. How crazy is that, how time flies? I don't have a lot of pictures, but I do have some pictures to take you through the years. So I also have a balloon here. Look at that. Please bear with me. I'm sitting in my bed while I'm doing this. You know that I'm not really fancy, and I'm very honest. But I wanted to take you through some of the pictures because those of you that have worked in stores for a long time, or you worked in the retail life, like, you know how it is. And looking back, like, while it's happening, you don't realize that you're making this history, like, for yourself. And you don't realize as things change until you turn back and you look at how far things have come and how much they have changed. So when I first took the job at A&P, this is how the front of the store looked. Classic A sign, but that's what it looked like when I the old products on the shelf. I don't know, maybe I'm a loser, but I don't know. I have something about that nostalgia to me back. And this wasn't that long ago. This, I believe, was when we modeled in 2015. Okay, so this is how it was going to look after they did the remodel. And this is how it looked previously. This is what they were turning it into. It's actually much nicer than it was. And this is how we had to live in the meanwhile. So very interesting. So what I can tell you is that I started on a Wednesday. It was July 6th. I was at my grandparents' house on July 4th. And of course, because I'm always full of anxiety, I had anxiety about starting my job. I was 15 years old. So, hi, how are you? I was 15 years old, so I was really anxious about, starting this job. And it was supposed to be a summer job. 27 years later, I was still there. So when I first started working for A&P, they were a pretty good company. I mean, as far as, like, we had a good reputation, whatever, things were on a steady downward spiral. To be in the video. This is a shot of what the store looked like if you were up in the bookkeeping office. Not the best picture, but like I said, I wasn't taking pictures back then thinking that there were really going to be anything I wanted to look back at. And this is the same thing from behind the courtesy counter. Somebody was around. This one, this is just somebody, I don't know, cleaning up a spill or whatever. But I don't know why. I find it really interesting to look at the old, I don't know, the old Gatorades. What is that up there? 1990, maybe 1991. It's a long time ago. Okay, here is somebody doing something very intelligent with a banana, but this is, what happens when you hire 16-year-olds. I wanted to show this picture just so that you outfits used to look like. I was like a management vest. Had the A&P thing on it. Now this is the smock. This is what my smock looked like. That's not me in the picture, so I don't want to show her face. It was so ugly. It was so ugly. Look at the colors. But the good thing is that you could wear whatever you wanted under it. As long as you had that with you, you could just throw that over it. It was highly flammable. So if you got close to anybody who was smoking, and in those days you were allowed to smoke in the store, you were allowed to smoke in the bookkeeping office, the back room, and the break room. And it was very easy to catch yourself on fire. So you had to be very careful. Everybody had big burn holes in them. Everyone did. So easy to catch on fire. Very safe. Now, here are two pictures of me. Now, I'm going to say this is probably 2005. I don't know why my hair looks so dark, but probably 2005. And I don't even understand what's happening to my hair in this picture. Like, what was going on? Who knows? Not a good look. But anyway, now way back when, so these were our trucks. On the steady decline that A&P went through, they wound up having to sell their warehouses, which is why you no longer saw A&P trucks anywhere. Also, we did go from having A&P brand and everything changed over to America's Choice. So there wasn't really any A&P anymore. They found it to be more cost efficient to just have America's Choice brand, and all the companies that fell under the Great Atlantic and Pacific Tea Company would carry America's Choice rather than Waldbaum's brand and Food Emporium brand and that kind of jazz. So there were no more trucks ever used to look that good and that full all the time, and nobody was really taking pictures. We did in 2015 upgrade the bakery, and the bakery was absolutely delicious. The cakes, the pastries, phenomenal, really phenomenal. Our produce was always really good too. They were known for having really good produce, having an excellent bakery. This is some kind of crap. I don't know what they were doing, some kind of a drawing. A lot of these things I wasn't there for because I used to work a lot of nights. So a lot of these raffles and things that went on, I wasn't there for. And I have to tell you, I didn't miss it. I don't want to be involved in any of that stuff. And this is just a shot of the soda aisle. Oh, the old Coke bottles. Doesn't seem like Coke changed all that much. Seafood, too. We had a pretty decent seafood department, considering we were a relatively small store. Here's the cold beer section. I'm going to tell you a funny story about these poles. When they remodeled, originally we were a Food Emporium, but that was before I worked there. And when they remodeled the store in, I believe in 1993, which is the first remodel, they moved the aisles. So we used to have, oh boy, I think we used to have 13 aisles, but they expanded each aisle and they brought it down to 12. And I think we made them to 11. I don't remember. Anyway, poles that were in the middle of the store. They weren't easy to get around. I mean, it just wasn't really functional. But my manager at the time, who wasn't a manager, he was just a grocery clerk, was stacking something on the bottom shelf, and he turned around really fast and he whacked his head on the pole. And he wound up splitting his head open, and he just went home with like a bloody head, drove home, and he wound up needing to have it stitched. We had so many stories in that store, so many. Now here is, now I know it was the 90s, but I just don't know why they went to pink and green. I mean, the A&P colors were red, orange, and yellow. And I know it was kind of antiquated from the 70s, but I was just never really feeling this green. But when we remodeled in 2015, we took away 7 and 8. This is the angle of the store that you would see if you came. The rest of the aisles were on the side. Yeah, see, we used to have 12 aisles. I think that may have cut it down to 11. Here's a better shot of the bakery. But the pastries, they were really good. We had a really great bakery department. Unfortunately, towards the end, it was hard to find a person in the store that worked in the bakery. And I wound up doing a lot of cake decorating when I was there, just because, people came to know that our bakery was really good and it wasn't well staffed because the whole thing was on a spiral downhill. Now, this picture, I know it's not a good picture, but I don't even think the grocery stores have them anymore. This here is a coffee grinder. And we were known for many, many years for 8 o'clock coffee. And people would buy it not ground, and we would have to grind it for them, and we would have to ask them what kind of a pot, drip, percolator, extra fine, and you would put it in the top here, and it would grind it up, and it would come out at the bottom. And of course, there are always occasions where somebody forgot to put the bag in and the coffee went all over the floor. But I don't think that grocery stores have them anymore. If they do, they don't have them up front. They may have them in the coffee aisle. Here is the inside of a truck, unloading a truck. And here is somebody dressed like Santa. I'm not really sure who that is. And you know I had to pull out the pineapple picture because I came across that, and you know that's my, the pineapple picture is my, the pineapple is my good luck symbol. Years later, I would be talking about this. This was definitely before the 2005 remodel, because up here where this is, we used to have big pictures of fruit. They put big pictures of fruit up. Oh, here is a shot of, I don't even know who that is. It might be a customer, but I'll just cover his head anyway. This is the deli, and then the meat department. And in the store, like the back room would be over here, and the deli would be right to the left of it. Those rotisserie chickens sold like hotcakes. People love them. Here's another shot of the bakery. And what is this? Also the bakery. And that's pretty much it. The other pictures that I had, I mean, they're not really anything special. But I just wanted to do something for the 30th anniversary because, I mean, can you imagine 30 years? 30 years. And like there was such a huge part of my life, like growing up. I was 15 when I started there. So even like in the 6 years to the time I turned 21, so much happened. You know, like I got my driver's license and I went to college, and then I became old enough to buy beer. Like there was just a lot of stepping stones that happened while I was working there. So I just wanted to make a quick video. I hope you enjoyed it. I really wish I had better pictures, but I just don't. All right. I am going to be live tonight at 6 o'clock for the free tarot readings. If anybody is interested, I will see you back at 6. Thank you for watching. And as always, if you like what we're doing here at the Magic Junk Drawer, don't forget to like and subscribe, share us with your friends, and we will see you soon.